Hello class. Okay, so here we are solving one-step equations concretely or using algebra. So using algebra, so you have x plus 5 equals 12. A lot of people can do this in their mind and just say, well, something plus 5 equals 12, that something should be 7. That is true. But if you need to show your work, that will not be acceptable. Just tell me the x equals 7. The reason why is because equations are going to become more complicated. They're going to be decimals and fractions, and this would be just one step. Obviously, we have two steps. We have multiple steps also in the future. So that's why we need to show the steps, and this is how we do it. So x plus 5. What you need to do, we mentioned before that the addition, the opposite of addition is subtraction. So here we have an added 5. We want to get rid of that added 5 so we can keep that positive x on its own on one side, and that would, on the other side, we would end up with just the numbers. So that plus x plus 5, we need to get rid of that. So what we do is, instead of addition of 5, we do a subtraction of 5. So we say x plus 5 minus 5, right? So the plus 5 becomes minus 5 to get rid of it. And what you do to one side, you have to also do on the other side as well. So that plus 5 becomes minus 5. Okay? Now we end up, these two add up to 0. So you have x on the left side. On the right side here, we have 12 minus 5, which is 7. And that is our solution. Okay? If you want to pause and try this example or this question, you can do so. And I'll do it right now. So we do the same thing here. Here we have x on the left and numbers on the right. So we want to get rid of that minus 2, so we end up with just finding what x is. So we want to get rid of that minus 2. So we are going to do the same thing. We copy the same work that we have here. But minus 2, the opposite of minus 2 or subtraction of 2 is an addition of 2. So we add 2. Okay? And what we do to one side, you have to do to the other side as well. So 4 plus 2, okay, and that comes from this minus 2. Now, these two also add up to 0. See, there's a trend here happening. So x minus 2 plus 2, those two add up to 0. So you end up with just x on the left side. On the right side, you have 4 plus 2, and that is 6. Okay. You wouldn't be surprised, 6 minus 2 is 4, so you can always check your work. If the question is asking you to check your work, you would have to show that in writing as well. So you can pause the video and try this slightly different example here. Okay, so we have 2x equals 30. So in this case, we have a multiplication. So we don't have only one x, we have two x's. So that means we want to get rid of that 2. This 2, there's nothing in between the 2 and the x. That means there's a multiplication. That's the default operation in math. So just like saying, okay. So 2 cars, for example, if you want to talk about the price of the car, you say 2 times the price of 1 car, which gives you the price of 2 cars. That would be a real life example, I guess. So here we have 2 times x, and that equals 30. So we want to get rid of that 2. To get rid of that, we have to, the opposite of multiplication is division. So you divide both sides by 2. So 2x divided by 2 equals 30 divided by 2. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. Okay? Another way of writing it, or you can say 2x divided by 2 equals 30 divided by 2. I prefer this method here. It's easier. Remember, this looks like a fraction. A fraction is the same as division. So regardless which one you want to use, you end up with x on the left side. 2 divided by 2 is 1, or 1x. And on the right side, 30 divided by 2 is 15. So x would be 15 in this case.